Welcome, everyone. I always appreciate how many people join just a few minutes early. The timeliness is great to see. Feel free to pop in the webinar chat where you are joining from today. Typically, we have a wide range of locations. That's always great to see. I'm excited to dive into this content today. Appreciate everyone joining from a whole host of different time zones. I know sometimes it can get tricky to navigate, but we will have the slides and recording going out to everyone after. So even if you're not able to catch everything we talk about today, you'll be able to review it at a later date or send to your friends. We'll give it a few more minutes before we kick it off. Wait for a few more folks to join before we dive in. All right, let's kick it off. So welcome everyone to our webinar today. I'm very excited about the content we have to cover and the special guest we have. So welcome to Take Your Content Marketing to the Next Level with Canva and Issuu. My name is Talius, and I am a marketing campaign manager here at Issuu. I am a Chicago native, a coffee lover, and I race bicycles. I'll hand it off to our CEO, Joe, to introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. It's really great to have you all with us. I think it looks like we've got people from almost every continent. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. Super excited to share with you how to really create great content, great marketing campaigns, share and distribute your content wherever you need that content to be, and with using Issuu and Canva together. So we're really excited to be here. I'm the CEO of Issuu. I'm joining from Palo Alto, California, and super excited to see people from, again, essentially every continent. Warren, you're going to represent Australia since you're with Canva, but it's truly a global. Okay. It's a global group here, and really we think of using these tools as a way to expand every marketer, every business's capability to reach your audience wherever that audience happens to be, anywhere in the world. Part of working together with Issuu and Canva is really about breaking down any of the barriers that have previously potentially prevented businesses, companies, storytellers from reaching their audience. Now you have tools to be able to do that. So welcome, and glad to be with everybody today.
Thank you, Joe, and thanks again for being here. Warren, could you take a second to introduce yourself? I know we're all excited to have you on here today.
Sure. So Warren Chen, I am head of ecosystem partnerships and developer success here at Canva. I've been with Canva for just under a year, and I'm actually based out in the San Francisco Bay Area with Joe, a little bit north and east of him in the East Bay in Oakland. But I'm actually joining on the webinar from North Carolina. So I'm actually in Raleigh for most of August. So welcome to those who are on the East Coast. Yeah, and just really excited to be joining Joe and Issuu team. Been working with Issuu as they were building their app since the beginning of the year, and just really excited in terms of like what we have in store kind of going forward.
Amazing.
And then you can see some of my fun facts. Did a lot of hiking and canoeing, and I spent about a dozen years in Chicago as well, and actually met my wife fighting over some seats at a pretty popular soccer bar in Chicago for a big game.
Well, what was the match? Who was playing?
It was Liverpool against Arsenal.
Right.
We were both Liverpool fans, and at that season it was one of the bigger matches of the year.
Oh, nice.
That explains the Liverpool logos all over your tuxedo from your wedding pictures, I guess.
Yeah. Well, funny enough that you mentioned that, we actually have some pictures where we were playing soccer because we both grew up playing soccer. So my wife was a goalie, so we took some pictures actually playing soccer in my tux in her wedding dress.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's amazing. All right, so just a bit of housekeeping before we dive in. Below you on your Zoom screen, you'll see a chat and a Q&A button. The chat's where everyone has been talking about where they're from, but the Q&A is specifically for the questions you have, because we want to make sure we see them and answer them. So please feel free to type in any questions you have there. And Audrey, our fantastic head of customer success, is here with us today as well. So thanks, Audrey, for being here, and she will be moderating the Q&A, and then we'll have a dedicated portion towards the end of our time here to dive into any questions that have stood out or that we haven't yet had a chance to cover. So the slides and the recording will be sent to everyone after the webinar, so feel free to review the content that we cover. We also have a variety of resources and links in these slides, so you can go back and kind of make sure you check on those and dive more into the information we cover. The majority of what we're going to be talking about today is essentially Canva and Issuu. So we're going to be diving into the Canva ecosystem, the benefits of using Canva Issuu together, how content marketers can make use of all of this, and then we'll go into a full demo of the new Canva app, Issuu app on Canva. So without further ado, let's dive in. Joe, can you start by walking us through essentially who we are at Issuu and what we do? I know not everyone on this webinar today is familiar with Issuu.
Sure. So Issuu is this massive digital publishing platform. What we do is we provide the tools and services that enable businesses, marketers, content creators, publishers to take the content that they're creating or hosting, often creating in Canva, take that content. We enable them to have a hosting service. That content can then be made available to anybody who wants to consume it. We enable you to transform that content into a link and video enhanced paginated version of that content, and then additional assets, including AI generated articles that come out of the content that you created. So we enable you to create once using Canva tools and then share and distribute that wherever it needs to go once you have it in the right assets that we enable you to create. That content can then go anywhere from being embedded into your own website, shared across any social channel, transformed into a GIF that can then be embedded into different social channels as well. And then we provide a whole set of data and analytics around how that content is being consumed. And we're super excited to share with you the work that we've been doing with Canva. Canva's been an amazing partner for us because we see so many companies, so many customers, so many creators who are increasingly using the easy to use Canva tools to create amazing content, amazing business collateral brochures. And then we're enabling, as you'll see with this app, to have that content posted and shared on Issuu. And then the data and analytics that we provide then is able to be used in your next Canva creation. So we're really excited to share this with you. And I think in working with Canva, we've enhanced the overall service that we're able to provide to customers. And we hope to hear from those of you who have been using the integration, those of you who have questions. And again, Talius will be walking through in more detail about how that's all working for each of you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's a great point that with this Canva app, Issuu encompasses everything from the creation, as you can see here, to the transformation, distribution, and then measuring that impact once again within that new Canva app. So Warren, can you tell us a little bit about Canva's mission and some of these recent accomplishments that we have here?
Yeah, for sure. So Canva was launched in 2013 with really one core mission, and that's to empower everyone in the world to design for the visual economy that we are living in today. And it's only becoming more and more evident that you need to be able to do things in a visual way to participate and really succeed in today's economy. And Canva, over the past 10 years has really kind of grown into one of the key tools that's empowering that with 135 million monthly active users, well over 15 billion designs created on Canva, being used in over 190 countries, and we support over 100 languages. So we have every intention for everyone on this planet to be able to use Canva for the visual design needs. And more specifically from an ecosystem perspective, what we're focused on is really how we can use and work with partners such as Issuu to help provide even more tools, more capabilities to empower you as creators, designers in Canva to do what you need to do to design. So we just launched a new set of capabilities that we're calling the Apps SDK to build even more powerful apps. The app that you're going to be seeing from Issuu is one of those. It's one of the first ones that was released a few months ago, and we're really excited about the traction that we've been getting and kind of what our prospects look like kind of going forward.
And that leads us right into kind of what you've touched on a bit already, that Canva ecosystem. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that works and maybe some of the benefits that content marketers can benefit from using that whole ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. So again, we think that Canva is the best tool out there for designing and creating assets and designs used to communicate with your peers, with your customers, on social media, etc. And there's two components that we really see our ecosystem of developers and apps really helping to support. One is making sure that you have all the right insights and content and assets available to you as you're designing Canva. So you'll see that a decent number of the apps that we have in Canva are what we call content apps. It's basically bringing in assets that you might have in Google Drive or from a digital asset management tool that you're using, or bringing in, as John mentioned, insights if you're using Issuu, where I've already created a few designs, a few brochures in Canva with Issuu. Let me see which ones of those perform the best, and let me maybe use that as use that to inform how I design my next assets. So that's one aspect. The second aspect is, once the design is created, how do we distribute that? How do we get that out to all of the different places that you want to share that design, whether it's on social media or other channels? And we have some capabilities built into our core product to do that, but we also want partners and developers such as Issuu to help with that distribution, help really increase the reach of those designs to your intended audiences.
That's amazing. And I think it's, yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Say quickly, one of the things, Warren, that I think is exciting about folks having access to these tools is there's the opportunity now to really have a company that used to just be local and used to be limited by location and geography. They now are able to have a global reach and are able to get access to tools that used to only be available to really big companies. What I love about what Canva's offering is a really sophisticated creation capability that's available and usable by almost anybody. And so you now can have the most amazing marketing content collateral that you're being created that looks like you had a huge team that's doing it, and you get a whole set of efficiency that wasn't available before. And I think that's one of the amazing things that we love about partnering with Canva and being so nicely aligned with what you're making available to customers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is definitely one of the powers of Canva. The fact that we support so many languages natively within our own products. We love for our apps to be able to support that as well. Some of the enhancements we're looking to do is to offer some translation services for some of the apps into key languages alongside the partners. And some of the apps that have been launched recently help support that. We actually launched an AI voice app very recently from a company where you can basically give it the script in your native language, and it can basically translate into over 100 languages for you, so that it makes it easy for you to share that content with a personalized message if you wanted to in their native language. So that again is the power of something like Canva plus some AI capabilities plus a distribution like Issuu.
Right.
And Joe, you've touched on this a bit already, but can you kind of talk about some of the growth we've seen here at Issuu from people creating content in Canva and moving that into Issuu?
Yeah, at Issuu, we have over 1 million customers, businesses, content creators a year that are using our tools and services. And what we've seen in the last 2 years is a 9x increase of Canva created content uploaded and hosted by Issuu that customers are then able to transform, share, and get a whole set of analytics around. It's an amazing growth. I mean, it really points to the growth of Canva, and it points to, again, why so many people are joining us today, either already using the two of us, using one of us, and learning about how to do more of it. So really, over the last 2 to 3 years, we've seen this huge increase. We've seen 4x growth of just customers themselves. So 9x increase in the content that's being created. So what we're seeing is people are creating even more content because the tools are so easy. 4x increase of the number of people using us together. And one of the products that we rolled out earlier this year is AI generated articles that enable customers and all of you who are using us to be able to automatically have articles generated from the content that you're creating. So you can upload that Canva created publication, brochure, collateral, and will automatically create articles that you can then embed, share, and distribute anywhere that you want digitally. And so we continue to see this massive growth that's really outpacing the rest of the creative tools market in terms of folks who are using us together. And we're excited to show you in more detail today why, how it works, what we're doing, and then take as many questions as we can.
Exactly. And I think that just speaks to how natural that link is for creators and content marketers between Canva and Issuu. And Joe, again, we've already discussed some of this, but can you talk about some of those specific advantages of using Issuu and Canva together seamlessly?
Yeah, so we've had an app with Canva before, but the app that we just created that we're going to be sharing with you today that Warren mentioned that we launched 2 months ago with at the Canva's event, Canva Extend, that Warren so wonderfully hosted and organized. We created an app that enables you, again, to create with Canva, export that content to Issuu, so it's then in your Issuu account, get all the benefits of using Issuu, hosting, transformation, sharing, the things that we've been talking about and many of you are using, and all of the analytics. And then all of that content gets imported back into Canva so that you can use that information, the data in particular, in anything that you're creating next. So what we've created with this app is really a creation, hosting, and analytics engine for anybody that needs to get content shared, distributed, and needs data and information about it, so that in anything that you're creating next, you can do it in an informed way. You can understand how many people are reading that content, which pages are being read, what elements of the content are particularly valuable, and that can be really useful as you're creating additional content. And then again, one of the key things that matters most to us, and Warren, maybe you want to say a little bit about this too, is we think it's really important for customers to be able to rely on software companies to do the integration for you. We want to make sure that you have the most efficient workflows possible so that you can focus your time and energy on the things that matter most: running and building your business, communicating your information, your story to your customers, your clients, wherever they happen to be, and not getting frustrated with having to figure out both how to use new software, but how to use it together. So part of the aspect that we're most excited about is the continued efficiency of the workflow that we're making available for you, and we'll continue to do better at that. And it's a huge priority for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a huge amount to add to that, Joe, other than like, integrated workflow, making sure that you're using the right tool for the right job to be done is really critical to us, and being able to do that as seamlessly as possible. Ideally all, in one window, one screen. Obviously we would love all of that to happen in Canva, but that isn't the reality of how, creators are using tools today, but we want them to use the right tool for what they're doing. And then if they need to switch tools in context, come into Canva, have that context from Issuu, have, like the metrics and the analytics and the insights, so that when you're creating in Canva, you're doing that as efficiently as possible. The design is created, collateral is created, you can upload it back to Issuu and distribute through Issuu so that you can continue that virtuous cycle. And that's part of the reason I'm in ecosystems is I love empowering that with SaaS applications and SaaS products, because within cloud software, most situations it's a better together story. You can't do everything siloed on your own. You want to do that with your friends, with your partners, to have that integrated workflow.
Exactly. And one thing I also like to touch on is, and that we've already discussed, is that both Canva and Issuu aim to be as accessible as possible. So anyone creating really any sort of content from any different use case or vertical or industry can use these platforms together. So we have a few examples here, which again, you can explore in the slides that are sent out, that have been created in Canva and then published and shared via Issuu. So anything from a nonprofit to real estate to a portfolio to a catalog, this can all be created in Canva and then exported to Issuu. But this is not, just the limit. It can really be any sort of industry, any sort of content. So whether you're an architect creating a portfolio, whether you are creating a brochure for your real estate firm, this can all be done using this integration, creating in Canva and then exporting and sharing via Issuu. Which brings us to the demo portion of today's webinar, we're going to dive into Canva and some tips there, and then talk about the Issuu app and then how you can enhance that with Issuu. So here we go. This is your Canva homepage where you first log in. And then many of you will already have content created, but some of you are starting from scratch and don't necessarily have that first piece of content that you'll then use to upload to Issuu and share and distribute. So one feature that I think is fantastic on Canva is just the size of their template library. So let's say your goal is to create a catalog. You can search for catalog or whatever search term you'd like to include here, whether it's a magazine portfolio, and then find whichever catalog template appeals the most to you. Many of these are free to use and they're all really fantastic, high quality. You can see how many pages are included. So this makes that initial creation step, if you don't already have the content in your library, just that much easier. I would also like to notice, just in the same theme of really making the creation more accessible, is the brand hub. So you can create a brand kit for your organization or your business. So let's say you have, selected whichever template you want to use. You can then customize that much more quickly with this brand kit that can include everything from logos to colors to fonts to images, graphics, etc. So this is just, a super streamlined way to begin that creation step, because I think for many content marketers, especially people who are just getting started with content marketing, that can be the most intimidating step, is that first bit of creation. So this helps make that just a little bit more streamlined. So now we're going to move ahead to the actual finished piece. So we're not going to go through the creation itself within Canva. We've given you those tips about templates and the brand hub that can help you kind of move that along. But now let's say you have this finished piece, whether it's a catalog, a magazine, a brochure, anything that you want, you have this finished piece and you're ready to begin marketing it. You want to share it with your audience. You want to make it engaging and, share it with as many people as you can, because you put this hard work into creating this content. So what we have here is a catalog related to coffee that has actually been created in Canva and then uploaded to Issuu by an Issuu user. So this is a real use case of someone who has used these platforms together and has found success doing so. So as you can see, it's a really high quality piece of content, obviously coffee related, and it's pretty in depth too. This is around 14 pages. So this is not necessarily, constrained to just 1 or 2 page brochures. You can really create in-depth content in Canva and then publish that on Issuu. So now we have this content finalized. As you can see, we have the brand hub on the left-hand side menu that I've just talked about. You can use that to make sure it's all finalized and edited. But now moving into that specific integration that Issuu has created with Canva, you find that for the first time on the apps menu on the left-hand side menu here. As you can see, we have the Issuu logo already activated because I've already activated the app on my account. But for the first time, you're going to go into apps right here and then simply just search for Issuu, and that will come right in. So we'll go ahead and select Issuu, and then you're going to actually connect that to your Issuu account that is already existing. So we're going to go ahead and do that connection process. And for the first time, you're going to have to input your username and password. We've already done this before, so that was just a little bit more streamlined. But now we're into kind of the meat of the integration here. So the first step is going to be exporting your design to Issuu. And below, you also have all of the designs that are published on your Issuu account. So this is not only constrained to what you are working on right here, but this is everything that you have on your Issuu account. But let's go through this, this process of exporting this Canva design to Issuu. So go ahead and click that button. And you have a variety of settings here. For example, if you want to flatten the PDF, that has to do with printing. But if you're working with solely digital, it's not a necessity. You can also select how many pages you'd like to export to Issuu. And again, in most of these use cases, it's going to be all pages in your Canva document you're going to want to export to Issuu. So we'll go ahead and select export. And then this will take just a few moments. But what this is doing now is bringing your content over as a draft to Issuu. So what we have right here is a link that's going to take you to that draft Issuu document. And then you can see how this is kind of blurred out. It says publish this draft on issuu.com to see the statistics. So the statistics are going to be how many people are actually viewing this content on Issuu. But in order to get access to that, we need to go ahead and publish it as a final version on Issuu. So go ahead and copy that link and paste it in a new tab. And then this will open up your Issuu account. So this is now moving into the Issuu editor. So we've swapped from Canva into Issuu here. And this is where you can begin to finalize the details of your publication. So what you can do here is just select a title. We'll do coffee catalog. And then you can go down below and edit the settings of your publication. And this is how it appears on Issuu. So it can be a public document, which means everyone has access to it. You can search for it and find it on Issuu. But for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to keep it as unlisted, which means that only people with a specific link that you send to them can access their this Issuu document. So this is particularly good if you're creating content that's just within your organization. So if it's, let's say, like a quarterly review, you can keep that as unlisted and just share it with people within your organization. You also have a variety of different settings, whether you want to allow people to download that publication as a PDF from the Issuu reader. You can show detected links, which is, let's say in the writing within this document you published, you have www.issuu.com. If you turn this on, that will automatically hyperlink to issuu.com or whatever link it is in your circumstance. And then you can just fill out some information about your publication type and select a backdate if you'd like to. So then the final step here is to select Publish Now, confirm you have the rights, and then that document that you've created in Canva will now be published on Issuu. But this is not the last step when it comes to the full streamlined flow of content marketing. What you want to do now is enhance this document and then share it easily with your audience, and that's what we're all about at Issuu. So we'll move over to this left-hand side menu and select Add Links and Video. So this allows you to actually add hyperlinks and embedded video within this piece of content that you've created in Canva. So on the right here, you can select the specific page where you want to add these links. So let's say we'll do right here. And then for a catalog use case, what's really helpful is you can actually link each specific product back to that page on your website that allows people to purchase said product. So that is essentially a very easy process. Just drag and drop over that product or whatever specific area you'd like to add the link. And then you would add a shopping link and then input whatever specific product page on your website that would go to. So for the purposes here, we'll just do, because this is an example, but this would be whatever product page you have, and click Save. And then that link is automatically added into your publication. You can also insert a video within your content that makes it more engaging for your audience, more of a multimedia experience, so to speak. That is going to be a similar flow. Just select Insert Video, and then I will just copy a video from Issuu's YouTube right here. I'll copy that. But again, this would be whatever video you want to share from your brand, from your organization, whatever makes sense for the content you're creating. You have a few options about how this plays. We're going to do embed within the publication so it actually fits within that square, and then click Save. And that, let's try that one more time. Insert video. There we go. So we're just going to now drag and drop that to the space we want it to fill. And you can do this for, oh, it looks like I changed that first one to a video link. I will swap that. Anyway, so these are, I accidentally swapped the first to the video link, but you can go through your entire publication and then customize the links to however you want that to fit within your specific piece of content. So you can even use this for a table of contents feature and have the link go to just another page in your content. So once you're satisfied with your linking, just go ahead and select Publish Changes. And then you can check out the live version of your content on Issuu with these links. We'll go ahead and skip to the page where we added that. And you can see here, this would be the shopping link, but I accidentally changed it to a video. But we have these links now embedded within your content, which can make the whole experience so much more engaging for your audience. So we'll go back to the publication now in Issuu and talk about a few more options to share and further customize this content. So moving back over to the left-hand side menu, we're now going to tab under the share icon here and talk about the full screen sharing feature, which is our most distraction-free reading experience we have at Issuu. So we have a variety of customization options to start here. You can select a start page for your content. You can select whether or not you want to be a single or double page layout, and then customize the background color with some auto-detected colors that exist within your publication, or even add your own logo and background image to this reader. So for example, you could add a background image of coffee beans to really make that align so much more closely with the content. And then once you are satisfied with these options, simply save and get that link, copy the link, and then this can be shared however you like. This can be a quick hyperlink in an email. This can be on a website. This can be in a social post. Just a variety of easy sharing options here that replace otherwise having to send something via email via PDF and having to download it to your computer and understand where you saved it. It makes that sharing of content just that much shorter and that much more streamlined. So then when you share that content, this is what will open up. And this just needs to load. But as you can see, it opens up in a new tab. It's fully dedicated to your content. So it essentially makes the experience so much more rewarding for you because the people you send it to, it's distraction-free. You can flip through, you can engage with the links that you've embedded here, taking them either to a page on your website, to another resource, to watch a video that relates to the content you have here. And again, this doesn't have to be a catalog. This can be a magazine, an editorial, a brochure, really whatever you like. And not only can you use this full screen sharing feature to share your content, but you can actually take this content and embed it on your website. So that's also going to be on the left-hand side here, right up from full screen sharing. That's going to be the embed on website feature. So a similar customization experience here on the left-hand side to the full screen sharing. You can change that background color. And if you want the pages to auto flip, whether you want the page layout to be double or single page, some additional advanced branding settings. You can remove the Powered by Issuu logo on the bottom on one of our paid plans. And then once you are satisfied with this, you can simply copy and paste this code here onto your website creator of choice. So whether this is WordPress or Squarespace or whatever it may be, you can simply copy and paste and have this content embedded within your website. So, kind of touching back on that accessibility portion of what Issuu and Canva are all about, we want to make sharing and distributing your content as easy as possible. So you don't have to have a technical background. You don't need to know how to code. You can copy and paste this code into your website editor and have that naturally appear on your website. So this is a great way to take advantage of the traffic on your website and increase more reads of your publication. So in a variety of use cases, you don't necessarily want to share your entire publication at one time, or you really want to, take this one piece of content you've created and make sure it's useful for a period of weeks and a period of months. So we have the article feature, the Issuu article feature for that. So if you go back to your publication here, this is where you added the title and created those and selected those settings. If you continue to scroll down, you'll see a variety of articles that have actually been auto-detected from within your content and created for you. So let's go and explore what some of these actually look like. So you go here and you can select Edit. And what this feature does, as Joe mentioned previously, is it detects the content within your publication and then creates for you an article that you can copy and paste that's perfect, ideally for social media sharing, or if you just want to share a small segment of the content within your larger publication. So we see this used most often for editorials or publications with a lot of copy or different sections. So let's say you have one specific article that you just want to share on social media instead of having to share, a longer publication. This is a great way to do that. And then you can customize that with the links and images that Issuu has auto-detected within your content, or you can even upload additional images to supplement that content. So there's a lot of customization options that you have here. You can go in and change, the style and formatting, and whether it's a header or a paragraph, and move things around and edit and delete images. So you want to delete this, you can get rid of this, etc. So you can go in, and not only does Issuu kind of automatically generate this article, but then you can go in and customize that and make sure it perfectly aligns with your brand, and then use these over a period of weeks, over a period of months. So you're not just sharing this content one time, but you're really kind of parsing it out and making it more valuable for your brand. And so we will save this. Now we'll go back to the coffee catalog. And so this actually brings us to that final portion of Issuu's app on Canva, which is statistics. So you're going to want to see how your content is performing. You've spent time creating it in Canva. You've uploaded the Issuu. You've embedded it on your website, shared out articles via social media, but how is it actually performing? With this new integration, you can go back into Canva and actually check out those statistics. We do have in-depth statistics on the Issuu platform, but for a quick look, while you're already in Canva, you have the ability to check that out right here. So I'll refresh that. And you can check these statistics for any sort of publication that you have on Issuu. So as you can see, we just published this, so we're looking at 0 reads, 0 impressions, but you can go back and check out, see how a prior publication is done, and see what those reads are looking like. You can see impressions, clicks, and average read time. So it gives you a good understanding of where your content is at. Do you need to do more promotion? Is something not working with the content you're producing and you need to pivot? This is all a really great way to do that with Issuu's integration with Canva. And that actually brings us to the end of our tutorial section for today's demo. We've kind of covered looking at templates and that brand kit in Canva to enhance the content creation experience, and then finalizing your content in Canva and exporting that design really easily to Issuu. And then once you're in Issuu, you can optimize that with links and video. You can share it really quickly via full screen reader. And you can see this really begins to cover the entire content marketing workflow, everything from creation to transforming it into this flipbook to sharing, and then coming back and either looking at those statistics while you're in Issuu or getting that really brief overview, high-level statistics within Canva.
And then the other thing that actually can happen is any of the content that's been hosted in Issuu that is now imported into Canva, you can use those pages in your next Canva creation. So any of the documents that you see here on the left-hand side that you've either created in Canva or that you created elsewhere but was being hosted in Issuu, you can now use those pages in your next set of content if you want to reuse it in some way.
Exactly. So you can go back into the, let's say you really like the cover or the image that existed on this page of content that's in Issuu, you can go ahead and move this image into your next Canva publication, which we see people even doing for creating social posts for their content on Issuu. You can create a social post and include the cover of your content on that social post that you're now creating in Canva, and that cycle kind of just keeps continuing. All right. So now we're moving on to kind of the final portion of the content we're covering today, which is a Q&A. I know I see some open questions here. Audrey, are there any questions that stood out to you or that have been unanswered that we should dive into?
Sure. Salvador Collins asked, also, you mentioned AI articles earlier. Can you create them on Issuu?
Yes. And that was, I'll just go back and show that here. When I was talking about that article feature on Issuu, these are those AI generated articles. So The auto detection is that AI detects the individual articles within your larger publication, so you don't have to manually do that. You can go in, and oftentimes these are fully aligned with what you have, only need a few tweaks before you send out and share on social media.
Thank you. Michelle Jimenez asked, can you see the analytics by page? For example, are certain pages more engaging than others?
That's a really great question. And within the Canva integration, we only provide those high-level metrics, but you can go into your statistics feature and look at metrics by page. So I can show an example here. Let's do the same example that we've looked at before. This may be an internet error on my end. But you do have the ability to go in. Let's try that again. There we go. You do have the ability to go into the statistics feature here on Issuu. And this is great for a much more in-depth look at the content itself. I'll go back to one with more data available. There we go. We'll do this. Okay, you can see what I have here. You can see a variety of links. So you can see all the links within your published document, what links are being clicked, what pages are being read. So you can see here each individual page, the impressions each page has, the reads and the read times. You can break this down by page. So let's see you have an article on page 3, and you see that page 3 is performing really well. You know that content is working, and then you can do more of that for future publications. Great question.
And then Ivy Felicia, can you demonstrate how the Issuu publications translate to social media? Perhaps you can demonstrate what it looks like when it's on social media platforms.
Yes, that is, I won't dive in, I won't open up like Facebook and do that right now, but you do have the ability to easily share all of your content via social media. So you can go into this share icon here and then share all of your content via social media, and it opens up like you do when you're sharing most links, that content preview. You can also easily share those articles that are a great way to share via social media. And we even additionally have, which I didn't dive into in the demo today for sake of time, but under the repurpose tab, you'll see a social post feature, which allows you to create custom social posts from the content that you have uploaded to Issuu, and this can be fully customized, so you can really tailor how it appears on social media to your brand and have full control over that. So that's a great feature to check out, which we didn't get into in the demo today, but another great Issuu feature that's going to be pretty much exactly what you're talking about.
And then final question. Our viewers are asking for more real estate examples. How does this pertain to real estate flyers and videos?
Yeah, real estate is a super common use case, actually. And I was even just looking through a few of the Canva and Issuu app users the other day, and there was a lot of real estate content coming up. So whether you have a more brochure style for your firm, or if you have a content about a specific listing, you can create that in Canva and then move that over to Issuu. And especially because, real estate is an industry that's becoming more and more digitalized, sharing marketing brochures and listing documents with clients, with your team members via Issuu is going to be so much more effective than carrying around paper content. Awesome. Fantastic. Audrey, we have time for another question. If not, we can wrap up now.
I'm just looking
If
through.
anyone has any questions for Warren while he's here as well, if anyone has any Canva specific questions, Warren's happy to answer those too.
There is a question about our plans and the specifics of our plans.
Oh, yeah. So we do have a variety of plans. We do obviously have a free plan, but then you can move up into tiered payment plans. You have a starter and a premium option. And then if you're a larger organization, we have custom plans for you there. So feel free to reach out if you're interested in a larger plan for your organization. But I think it is great to mention that you can both use Canva and Issuu and use this integration for free. But if you want further advanced features, and Warren, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Brand Hub was a paid feature on Canva. So that's a paid feature on Canva. And then some of those advanced customization features on Issuu are only going to be accessible for those paid plans. So you can, do further design elements and further creation elements and content sharing with Issuu with those paid plans. That's a great question.
Yeah, so just to expand on what Talia was saying, so the free version of Canva, all apps like Issuu are available to any user for your paid. Brand Kit is a pro or team, so a paid feature, and some of the templates that Talia was showing, like we have a lot, millions of templates that are for free users, but there are some that are going to be for paid users as well. So some limitations, but you can do almost everything that Talia showed other than the Brand Kit with the free version of Canva.
Fantastic. Perfect. Well, yeah, Warren, thank you again for joining us today. I know I really enjoyed learning more about kind of where Canva started and where the ecosystem is growing. It's awesome to see that growth, and it's awesome to be a part of it here at Issuu. And I think that, hopefully for all the attendees today, you've kind of walked away with this with a brand new understanding of, how you can streamline your content marketing workflow, how you can create, transform, share, and then check out those stats. Awesome. And thank you again, Joe and Audrey, for being on today.
Thank you for inviting me, and it's been
amazing. Perfect. Well, as I mentioned before, I will send out a copy of the recording and the slides immediately after the webinar. Feel free to reach out to us via email if you have a question that didn't get answered, or you want to, additional clarification about anything Issuu in Canva. And this email here will go to me, and I'll be happy to respond and chat with you about that. And there's also a link to try that Issuu in Canva app today, which again, we're very excited about. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Thank you again, everyone, for hopping on today. It was a great conversation.
Thank you for joining us, Warren. Thanks for joining us, and great to be partnering and working with Canva so closely for everybody's benefit. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Been fantastic working with you, Joe, and the Issuu team.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.